So what we're going to be working on now is making it so that we can actually collect the coin, so that we can actually use it to purchase this weapon later on. So if you look inside your scene and your hierarchy, we have our level. If you drop that down, we have our market, and within the market there is a coin game object, which is just a 3D model of a gold coin with the Unity logo on it. Basically, what we need to do is we need to collect this item and add it to our player's inventory. So how do we handle collisions? Well, if you remember from game 1, we used on-trigger enter 2D. For 3D, all you have to do is remove the 2D part. So we're using on-trigger enter. Because we're not working with physical collisions and I'm not having the coin bounce off of me, we're going to use triggers, which allows the object to pass through me or me through it. If I wanted the coin to get kicked around on the floor or reflect off of me, we would use on collision. Now, when you're using on collision, that means you're creating a very physics-based collision system and you're working with the physics system. For us though, when you're creating a pickable or a pick-up item or a collectible, it's going to be a trigger. So let's go ahead and set up the collision for our coin. If you select the coin, we're going to go ahead and add a sphere collider. Similar to a circle collider in 2D, but this one we're using a 3-dimensional sphere. If you zoom in on the coin, you'll see our sphere. And what we want to do here is we actually want to enlarge it because our player is going to be walking into this area. So let's go ahead and actually enlarge it quite a bit. Then we'll go ahead and edit collider, and you'll see these little anchor points. Go ahead and drag that out. So here, when the player walks into the coin, this vicinity, we're going to allow the player to pick up the coin using an action key. Our action key for this game is going to be the E key. So when you hit E, you're going to we're going to say action, and you pick up the coin. So we'll have some sort of like pop-up display asking you a question, like pick up coin. You hit the E key, and you get the coin, and it goes into your inventory. So before we're done with the coin here, there is one more thing we need to do. Is trigger needs to be set to true. This is what's going to allow us to actually collide into this trigger. Now watch what happens if we don't use an is trigger. This is a physics-based collision. Watch what happens when I run into the coin. You'll notice here that I get stuck around this sphere collider. However, if I make it a trigger, now watch what happens. I can now walk through it. So that is how we're going to create this collectible. So I go through the trigger. Unity provides us with methods such as on-trigger enter, on-trigger stay, and on-trigger exit. Each one respectively has its own functionality that's automatically called by Unity. So the last thing we need to do, and if you remember this from game 1, is in order for the collision to be detected, it must have a rigid body. One of the objects colliding must have a rigid body. We're going to say use gravity off for the coin so that it doesn't fall. And now we're good to go. In the next video, we'll go ahead and set up the script.